Dancing in the Glory of Monsters is a non-fiction book released in 2011 by American author and United Nations Special Investigator Jason Stearns. Drawing from Stearns' years of on-the-ground reporting in Africa, the book chronicles the devastating story of the First and Second Congo Wars, conflicts that claimed the lives of at least 5 million people, making them the deadliest series of wars since World War II. Subtitled The Collapse of the Congo and the Great War of Africa, the book unpacks the deeply complex origins of these wars, aiming to make them accessible to readers unfamiliar with the region's turbulent history. While ethnic tensions and unstable regimes had long plagued Central Africa, the turning point came in 1996, just 2 years after the Rwandan Patriotic Front, RPF, a heavily armed Tutsi-led militia, halted the genocide perpetrated by Hutu extremists against the Tutsi population in Rwanda. In the aftermath, millions of Hutus, including many genocidaires, fled into neighboring Zaire, today known as the Democratic Republic of the Congo, DRC, then under the authoritarian rule of Mobutu Sese Seko. The RPF, angered by cross-border incursions launched from refugee camps in Zaire, began supporting ethnic Tutsi communities within Zaire to fight back. Among the key figures in this movement was Laurent-Désiré Kabila, a longtime rival of Mobutu. Backed by Rwandan and Ugandan forces, Kabila and his allies advanced along the Congo River, eventually capturing Kinshasa and forcing Mobutu into exile in Morocco, where he died 3 months later from prostate cancer. Kabila renamed the country the Democratic Republic of the Congo, but peace remained elusive. His rule quickly sparked resistance. Angola, Namibia, and Zimbabwe threw their weight behind Kabila, while Uganda, Rwanda, and Burundi lined up in opposition. Other nations, including Sudan, Chad, Libya, and the Central African Republic, provided varying degrees of support, whether political or logistical. The result was a sprawling conflict involving nearly a dozen countries and over 25 armed groups, covering a swath of territory as large as half the African continent. At the heart of this geopolitical scramble was the DRC's immense natural wealth. As Stearns notes, Congo was, and remains, home to vast reserves of gold, diamonds, coltan, uranium, timber, tin, and other valuable minerals. At the time, it was arguably the most resource-rich region on the planet without a functioning government, making it an irresistible prize for state and non-state actors alike. To illuminate the human cost and moral complexity of the conflict, Stearns embeds himself with key figures, sometimes even perpetrators of mass violence. In one chilling interview, a member of a Congolese death squad confesses to killing upwards of 100 civilians a day by striking them with a hatchet to the neck, because it was the fastest way and we didn't spill blood. Stearns also documents the military daring of the Rwandan army, which, after falling out with Kabila, whom they had installed, attempted to remove him by force. In one dramatic episode, Rwandan forces hijacked a Boeing 707 to land at a Congolese airstrip they believed had been covertly secured. The pilot hesitated, fearing they would be shot down. To bluff their way in, a Rwandan officer used the onboard radio to impersonate airstrip command, giving the pilot a false clearance to land. The ploy worked. The Rwandans seized the airstrip and advanced toward Kabila's palace, only to be stopped at the last minute by Angolan and Zimbabwean reinforcements. Stearns compares the Congo conflict to an onion, layer upon layer of war within war. Former allies like Rwanda and Uganda, once united against Kabila, eventually turned on each other, engaging in fierce battles on Congolese soil. As alliances constantly shifted, mercenaries and warlords aligned with whoever could pay the most, creating a chaotic patchwork of factions driven as much by profit as politics. Rwanda, for instance, reportedly profited to the tune of $250 million from Congolese mineral extraction during the war, enough for President Paul Kagame to later claim that Rwanda's involvement was self-sustaining. Stearns also delves into the role of Western complicity. Despite the Rwandan army's atrocities, Kagame continued to receive diplomatic, financial, and rhetorical support from Western politicians, business leaders, and media outlets, some of whom saw him as a reformist or a necessary stabilizing force in the region. Ultimately, Dancing in the Glory of Monsters is both overwhelming and enlightening. It paints a portrait of a war so vast, so multi-layered, and so catastrophic that, for those who lived through it, it could only be described as a modern-day World War III. Thank you for watching. If you enjoy this video, leave a like and subscribe.